At homecoming each and every year at Bucknell University, the Bucknell Athletics Hall of Fame adds to its class of great and elite athletes, and this year no different. In fact, we have right here, standing next to us, one of the members of the Spike Shoe community, Matt Deardorff, from the class of 1992. Congratulations. What a great honor for you.
Thanks very much. It's great to be inducted. It's great to be back.
Well, you were at a time when Bucknell was making a transition from the East Coast Conference to the Patriot League. What about the competition level for the ECC compared to the Patriot League? What about just being part of both of those leagues? Do you remember anything from that time?
Remember anything from that far back? No, it was great because the East Coast Conference, I think a lot of the teams were, for the most part, similar. The East Coast Conference felt a little bit more neighborhood, and Patriot League kind of grew it to that next level. And you could really feel it. And just the way the league grew, the way the meets were put off, these kinds of things. It was really, you could tell that step. It was nice.
Was the competition level pretty even between ECC and the Patriot League?
I'd say early on it was pretty even. I think the big things in those years that came on were Army and Navy, and they were different from the ECC, and that changed the flavor a little bit. But really, I would say overall, the intensity was pretty similar, indoor and out.
Of course, you competed in indoor and outdoor as well as cross country. Your junior year, you finished second in the Patriot League in the cross country championships. Senior year, though, you took first place. Was that something all year long you were saying, I'm not going to settle for second?
No, it's pretty funny. I actually don't quite remember that senior year one. The junior year one was pretty cool because that second place, second place, whatever. It turned out the way that we ended up running that race was that we ended up having Norbert Brenny, who was our captain. We ran together as a team for that race. And Norbert Brenny is a captain because he was the senior. He was the person that we put in front. And then we had a row of, it was 5 or 6 people. I was trying to remember, a row of 5 or 6 people behind him. And we swept the conference. So it wasn't that I was trying to get, it was that we kind of, Norbs was the captain and he got the win. And then the rest of us were kind of just running along as a team. And it was really, it was a fantastic kind of thing to be able to run that way.
Oh, that's really cool because that shows that while track and field is an individual sport, it becomes team sport a lot, right?
It is, especially, I mean, even on the track, when you know you got this team tally running up, and especially in relays and things like this, where you got to dig for your teammates. Cross country especially so because there are 5 people that count, but there are at least 8 people in that race with you. And any given day, somebody might have an off race, and you're digging not just for yourself and for where you want to finish, but you know that, okay, geez, I blew the race, but I need those few extra places. I can't just pack it in. So cross country is a neat thing that way. The idea of running for this team, and that was one of the strengths here as well. Just the concept of this team and running together.
And as you said, not only in cross country, but indoor and outdoor track and field, you participated in those as well. Did you have a preference when it got to those parts of the season? Did you like indoor better than outdoor or vice versa?
I tend to be more, well, geez, it was interesting. My body kind of, I couldn't beat on it too hard. I had to be a little bit gentle with it. So indoors with the turns, I just had to be a little bit more cautious indoors. But no, it's whenever you're fit and whenever you're running and whenever you're in shape and you can get out there and run and crank. It didn't matter where you were doing it. It was just fun to do. So.
Of course, you were named to the decade as well as the 25th anniversary teams of the Patriot League. Were those great honors for you? How did those stack up with your other accomplishments?
Yeah, no, they were all surprises. I have to say it wasn't something I was even thinking about for them. So when you kind of hear about them and you hear about this, the Hall of Fame induction, all of them really kind of came out of the blue. You weren't thinking, so it's really fun. It's really great.
Of course, you were also very adept in the classroom, 2-time academic All-American. Do you look back and say, I'm more proud of those as opposed to the cross-country track and field accomplishments, or do they all kind of work hand in hand?
I think the cool part about that was that I wasn't the only one. There were, I was trying to kind of do a tally of this in my mind before here. There were at least 5 or 6 folks on the team when I was here that were academic All-Americans. So it was one of these all-around kind of excellence kind of scenarios. And I think that's kind of one of those things that you really take away is that that was an individual accomplishment, yes, and I needed that for other pieces of my life. But the fact that we were all kind of doing it together was pretty fun.
That's so awesome. I'll tell you what, congratulations, Matt. What a great recognition for you and I'm sure your family, which I'm sure is basking in this glory as well.
They are. And it's great to get back up here. It's great to be able to celebrate.
All right. Matt Deardorff, another inductee into the Athletics Hall of Fame.